Roppstar gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to yet another edition of the Roppstar Report, where we break down these Carolina Panthers Monday through Friday, whether it's a live stream, whether it's through shorts, whether it's through tweets, whatever it is. I'm always live. I'm always doing something. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream tonight. As you see, Panthers in crisis. We got Moore Zavala on IR, Hubbard out, Jimmy Horn Jr.'s chance. We're going to talk more about that and some moves that I think we need to make. It's really not moves. It's really more like suggestions as to what I think this team needs to do going forward if we want to have a chance, especially with this stretch of games of, this week Miami, Dallas the next, and then you've got the Jets. So before you hit that major stretch between, you got a 4 big game stretch there. You play Green Bay, Buffalo, the Saints, which we know who the Saints are right now. We'll obviously, when we get close to that game, we'll dive more into that one, especially for it to be an NFC South rival. And then, of course, then on the back end, you've got San Francisco and LA. So if this is a major stretch. We'll talk more about that stretch as well. What I think that they need to do if they want to turn this season around. But again, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on your way in and on your way out. That's all I ask. It's simple as that. Bam, right there. Feel free to get in the comment section. Love to hear y'all's thoughts. Make sure you get in the comments. And we do have a live goal here of 100 likes or more every live stream. And every time we hit 100 likes or more in a live stream, we get a major giveaway. I already have 3 to do. We will do those giveaways at probably around mid-season. So make sure you do that. We already got 3. So I'll probably do all 3 at mid-season. But if we can get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we'll do as many as we can. So I appreciate everyone joining. Make sure you become a member of the Roppstar Report. It's cheap. There's different. It's less than a cup of coffee from Starbucks. All my links, if you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, there is my links right there. And of course, if you're feeling generous and you want to donate to the channel, there's my Venmo and Cash App. I greatly appreciate it. If not, no big deal. I'd rather you just like and subscribe. That's all I ask. Okay. All right, let's get into it because this team is sitting at 1-3. We're sitting at 1-3, and this is not the most ideal situation to be in going into your Week 5 matchup against the Miami Dolphins, who just beat the New York Jets on Monday night. You just got brutally blown out 14-13 in Foxborough. So now this depth chart looks like it went through a blender a little bit, right? Ahead of this Wednesday's practice, obviously. Lots of transactions today as well. But we made a flurry of roster moves that we need to highlight and go over. So David Moore, Chandler Zavala are going to be hitting the IR. Obviously those are the headliners from the injuries. You got David Moore out with that elbow. You got Chandler Zavala out with that knee. Both are going to be injured on the injury reserve. There are injuries piling up on top of Tuesday's departures outside of, thank goodness, DJ Johnson, and Dale Von Campbell leaving the Panthers with 4 open roster spots, to really patch up before we get into Sunday. But Moore's situation is ugly, man. I dislocated elbow. I mean, he basically took a hip drop tackle on his elbow. I mean, against New England in that first half, and given the timeline, he's not coming soon. Chandler Zavala hurt the same knee that gave him fits in camp. Another brutal setback for a guy who's in his second year, I think, who can't seem to stay healthy. So that's a starting wideout. That's a starting guard gone in the span of 1 quarter. Again, I didn't think Chandler Zavala was ready. I'll tell you that. I didn't think Chandler Zavala was ready. But he proved me wrong, man. Like he did. He proved me wrong. He stepped up nicely. I kept saying that Brady Christensen should have been starting. And I still believe that. But at the same time, here we are. But again, it's so mind blowing. Still to me to this day, it's just like I don't understand this coaching staff. They bring up a practice squad guy and they're like, yeah, let's put him in. Since Chandler Zavala went down, let's put the practice squad guy we just elevated over the guy who could start at any position on this offensive line, who's I think allowed maybe 4 sacks in his career. But yeah, let's start the practice squad guy over that guy. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. This is where the coaching issue, like those types of moves, makes me question this coaching staff. All right. We're going to dive more into that coaching staff as well, because I'm not sure the coaching decisions exactly, Palmetto Panther, have been very questionable. I mean, it's from play calling to the rotation to so many different things. And it's definitely just got me like thinking like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let me get to the chat real quick. I got a couple of you guys in here. SC Panthers Boy 803. What's going on? Jimmy, ready to play right now. I love that. Ready to play right now. I love that. Love me some Jimmy Horn. I love me some Jimmy Horn Jr. Love to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what the kid can bring to the table, right? We've been wanting it. Now we're getting it. Let's see what happens. Ken 88, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through. Miss Douglas says, what's up, Clay? What's up, Miss Douglas? How are you? This coaching staff is terrible at personnel valuation. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're speaking it. You are preaching it, girl. The coaching decisions have been questionable. Yep. We went from mid to being more mid once again. Our players definitely don't work on their body upkeep during the offseason or during the season. Absolutely not conditioning for the body at all. Might have a good point there. Maybe we should start pointing fingers at the training staff. But I feel like we've had a lot of questionable things coming from the training staff. No? But again, it's also we play on a turf field, and that's also a big major issue as well. Now I don't know Foxborough what they play on, but we need to bring back real grass to every NFL field. I don't care what anybody says. Don't care what anybody says. Dave had been lost me with all his rambling shit talking during the interviews. Yeah. Miss me with the whole, I don't disagree with you there, SC Panthers boy. Miss me with the whole, the positivity. You know what I mean? Miss me with the whole, it's just like I said in my short, man. Miss me with we had a great week of practice. We had a great week of preparation. Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, we're not seeing the production or the results on the field. And the NFL, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this is a result-driven league. And until proven otherwise, I'm going to pick against this Carolina Panthers team. I'm a true fan. I'm a realistic fan. But until they prove me otherwise that this team can be consistent and competent consistently, I have no faith. So, but we'll dive more into that here shortly. I still am going to be ride or die no matter what. It's just that we got to be realistic, man. We got to be realistic. I love Jimmy. Jimmy, can't wait to see him play as bad as our coaching has been. Will Canales have Jimmy in the right packages? Here's the thing. If anybody goes back and watches y'all remember Devin Tompkins that we actually had, I think we had him here for a short period of time because of Dave Canales. But if you go back and watch his film, right? If you go back and watch Devin Tompkins' film over in Tampa Bay, I think that's the packages sets you're going to see Jimmy Horn Jr. in. I really do believe that. I think you're going to see him as a gadget player. They're probably going to play him in the slot, obviously, on certain plays. But, that's where I think that you're going to see Jimmy Horn Jr. in those types of packages that they ran with Devin Tompkins, right? Over there in Tampa Bay. So, in these gadget sets, quick reads, right? Quick slants, hitch, easy routes, man. Just easy, quick routes. That can get them open. I took notes on exactly what the routes I think that they'll run. See, I take notes, ladies and gentlemen. I take notes. I think what they'll do with him. Not that one. That's not the notes I need. See, with my game film breakdown, I take notes, but I can't find what. Where are my notes? See, I take notes. Trying to find where I did with them. I had my notes for Jimmy Horn Jr. Yeah, I probably expect, like, with him, you're going to see a lot more, like, hitch routes, fades, some quick slants, easy completions, probably for Jimmy Horn Jr. And again, you're going to see some gadget plays like they used Devin Tompkins in Tampa Bay when Canales was there. That's what you're going to see. So that's just my prediction. We are saying during the offseason, all the positivity is going to get old fast if we look like this last year. Exactly. And it's looking like last year. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Got to get rid of that turf, man. Got to get real grass out there. Yeah, Domo, it is a production league. Again, this is a result-driven league. And if you're not producing results, then what are you doing? What good are you doing, right? It's like this is a league that says, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me on Sundays? Right? That's what this league's about. It does not matter. Moral victories are no longer. Excuses are no longer. It's put up or shut up at this point. I want to see consistency. I want to see competence. I want to see this team prove me wrong. We're 1-3 going into week 5. I need to see this team in the next couple weeks. You got Miami this week. You got Dallas next. You got the Jets next. I need to see this team go 2-1 in these next 3 games. We have to go 2-1. I told y'all this 4-game stretch is the most important stretch we're going to have all season long. Telling you that. Telling you that right now. I hope that playbook opens up a bit more. We're going to talk more about that. Local kid. Bonnie Collins says, did anyone talk about the defense? Where was the finger pointing at the game? Trying to fly. Bonnie, I don't think the defense is the issue. I mean, you can't get mad at Jiro Evero in this Foxborough game when your special teams unit puts your defense in bad positions. That's why I didn't point the finger a lot at a Jiro Evero in this game. I will say that the pass rush was MIA, which did not help us. But again, I'm not going to put the full blame on that defense the way it played due to Ejiro Evero. I'm putting a lot of that blame on the special teams unit because they put us there. They put that defense in a bad position. I don't want Jimmy Horn to talk about it. I want him to go out there and just produce, man. But hey, Bonnie, Ejiro Evero ain't flying under the radar. He's getting a lot of smack talk his way too. Well, no, they won't bring him back. Shockwave 43. They will not bring him back. What's up, Earl? Yeah. Yep. All right, let's continue, man. So let's continue. Now, who's in? We brought in DJ Dallas, as you can see. You brought in Tre'von Thomas, as you can see, and you brought Jake Curran, as you can see, from Arizona practice squad, which Jake Curran's an interesting one. I'm gonna dive into him here shortly, but we filled some holes. I'll give him that. You bring in DJ Dallas, who I like. I think he's a guy that you can use him not only in the backfield, but he is a special teams expert, right? I think he would be better back there than Trevor Etienne right now in this punt returns. You bring back defensive back Tre'von Thomas from the practice squad. You also swiping lineman again, Jack Curran off the Arizona's practice squad. So Dallas is going to be more than just an injury fill-in for Chuba Hubbard with that sore calf. More on that here in a second. I'll dive more into that, but he's a special teams ace, man. Like he's a return threat. He's a guy that I've seen run back like a 90-plus kick yard return for a touchdown. I think he has like a 96-yard return touchdown of his resume, actually. So familiar face for Dave Canales, obviously from those Seattle days. Canales all but said the move was partly to reward Dallas for grinding behind the scenes. So I guess they've been staying in touch, and he's still been practicing. Thomas is the classic special team first, depth later, call up. That's what he is. Like he flashed a little bit at camp. I remember him. He can line up at safety or nickel. Should help stabilize a coverage unit that looked lost, obviously, against New England. But given how this Patriots gashed our special teams last week, he couldn't have arrived soon enough, in my opinion. And then Curhan, I like this guy, man. I did a little bit of deep dive on him. Didn't know much about him. This guy's logged 40 NFL games. So he started 11 games, I think, last year for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not sure if that's correct. Someone might have to fact check me on that. This is a guy that's a jack of all trades, man. Like master of none, mold, right? He's a 6'6", 330-pound offensive lineman. Great experience both at guard spots and the right tackle. Again, he started his career out in Seattle with Canales. He's got 40 games under his belt, and I think he started 11 last year, but someone make sure of that. But, having Zavala going down, Brady Christensen sliding over to right guard, obviously, which, I mean, Brady Christensen looked like an absolute stud there, by the way. Curhan's a much-needed insurance policy for this offensive line that is still somehow holding together since week one. And don't forget about 6th-round pick. Of course, you got Jimmy Horn Jr., who I'm going to dive more into him here shortly, but again, we get to see him, right? We finally get to see Jimmy Horn Jr. He's been a health scratch for months, but Canales has basically confirmed he's the next man up after Moore's injury. Horn brings that speed to this group that we're desperate for. Carolina has just 10 plays of 20-plus yards all season. So, and 7 of them belong to, of course, Tedero McMillan. I think Horn's raw right now. I'm going to dive more into him, but he's raw. He's fast. He beats slow and invisible. So I'll take that. Now, of course, some other news, which I got to pull it up. Give me a second here. I got to pull it up. I'm trying to find the latest on Chuba Hubbard. There was a he missed practice today. Let's see here. Trying to find it real quick. It was Chuba Hubbard. Oh, here it is. So this is what we're looking at from obviously from an injury report. This is one of the injury reports from today. I guess whoever this is, I'm not sure who this is. I guess he's from the UK. It says NFL UK, Panthers Magpie. I don't know if he's a reliable source or not. Let me see if I can find a better source. Oh, here we go. Miss Sheena Quick. Shout out to her, Miss Queen of the Carolina Panthers. That's what I would call her. That's what I would call her. Let me see here. Let me get to some comments here. So, what's up, Roppstar Carolina Panthers? As a Carolina Panther fans and UNC, officially have nothing to look forward to in sports. UNC basketball not even doing good. What's up, Panthers Nation? How many players are about to go down? Well, here's your full list. Here is your full list. Yeah, so the injury report is not exactly confidence booster now, is it? Running back Chuba Hubbard sat out with that calf injury today. You got defensive lineman Turk Wharton, who's missed with a toe issue. According to Dave Canales, he said that Hubbard needs more time. To me, when I listened to his press conference, I felt like he downplayed the situation as he always does. But given the IR moves and the Dallas promotion, in my opinion, this staff is clearly hedging its bets at this point. There are some good news. You have Xavier Legette coming back. You got outside linebacker Patrick Jones, both practice in full after both having hamstring issues. Legette himself said he expects to play Sunday against Miami, which would be a badly needed boost, I guess you could say. I guess it depends which Xavier Legette we're going to get out there, right? Veteran Taylor Moton got a rest day. Tight end Tre'von Sanders was sidelined. With a knee. Or not a knee. He's sidelined with an ankle. Sorry. And then you had Shaw Smith Wade nursing a chest injury. So guys who did not practice today were Taylor Moton, Hubbard, Turk Wharton, and Tre'von Sanders. But Tre'von Sanders was out there getting some work in. It wasn't like he was getting like a full practice then. He was just doing some drills, some limited stuff that he can do. So he was out there still getting some work in. DJ Wanden was limited in this practice today. And then, of course, again, full participants, Legette, Patrick Jones, Cam Jackson, Cade Mays, T-Mac, and, of course, LeBron Ray's back from that ankle injury. So, speaking of Ray, the team also activated his 21-day practice window, and he's been sidelined since camp with an ankle injury. But now he has 3 weeks to prove he's game ready. Has to prove 3 weeks that he's game ready. I'm going to save this, actually, by the way, guys. Save that for later. So, yeah, I mean, this offense is in flux, man. This offense is in flux. Lots of new faces, lots of new role. I mean, I think with David Moore's injury and Horn stepping into a bigger spotlight, I think Zavala's absence creates yet another revolving door at right guard. And then, you got your, a third starter at that position in 5 weeks. Christensen looks like the guy. I'll be honest with you. He's the mostly repped at tackle and center, but he's played guard before. And he looked fine. I think a full week of practice is even going to be better for him. But Curhan, you still got Curhan, Josh Nishman, you got Nick Samak still on this team to make up the next tier of the offensive line insurance. The Panthers also added, let me go back to this. They also added Sadiq Charles. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Y'all, I don't know how to pronounce that name, man. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm pretty sure I pronounced it wrong. It's down there at the bottom. over down there at the bottom. It's Sadiq. I don't know. I think the Q. I don't know. We'll just call him S. Charles. How about that? But anyways, they signed him. They also brought in a rookie who to the practice squad, Aiden Williams, as well, plus running back Trey Tyus, an undrafted rookie who bounced between Detroit and Seattle this summer. So, just some quick stats for you guys real quick. Tre'von Moehrig is quietly balling, by the way. If you go look at his next-gen stats, his tackling efficiency ranks 7th among all safeties with at least 25 opportunities, and it's at 90.6%. Tommy Tremble has caught his 10th career touchdown, passing Jeff King and Chris Mangum for third all time among Panthers tight ends, and he still has miles to go to sniff Wesley Walls or Greg Olsen. But penalties, surprisingly clean. Carolina has 22 through 4 games, tied for the 4th lowest in the NFL, surprisingly enough, with the Ravens and the Rams, and the Steelers lead the league with just 19. So, yeah, that is some updated news for you guys with all the moves that we did. Pronounce Sadiq. Oh. Sadiq. Sorry, Sadiq. My bad. See? They shouldn't allow me to have a mic, man. They shouldn't have allowed me to have a mic. All right. My bad. My bad, shorty. My bad, shorty. There was something else I wanted to share with you guys. Where is it? There it is. There it is. This is the one that everybody's been waiting for, man. This is the one I think we've all been waiting for. This type of news right here. This type of news right here, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Horn Jr. Could he be the spark that this Panthers wide receiver room desperately needs, ladies and gentlemen? Could it be? Could it be? Because, again, through 4 games, we have managed, again, just 10 passing plays for 20-plus yards. 7 of those belong to Tre'von McMillan, a rookie who already looks like he belongs in a different tax bracket than the rest of this group, right? Chuba Hubbard owns another one in garbage time, no less. Just saying. Bryson Tremaine, the camp underdog who fought his way onto this roster, has the only other 2. That's it. That's the list. Everyone else, they're basically allergic to chunk plays for some reason. The pass game right now, to me, looks like a series of short dump-offs capped off by a weekly blowouts, whether Carolina is on the winning side of it, like week 3, or more often the receiving end, like, well, the rest of this season has been, right? So the state of this wide receiver room has been a one-man show. You got Tre'von McMillan, who's averaging 15.4 yards per catch and pacing towards a 77 catch, 1,100 yard season. Obviously looks like the real deal, right? The problem is no one else has stepped up. Tremaine's at least pushing 12.4 yards per catch, but after that, it falls off a cliff. Hunter Renfrow, yes, the former Pro Bowler, who was supposed to bring that veteran stability, is just averaging around 5.8 yards per reception. So that is not really a possession territory receiver, in my opinion. That's kind of like a tight end dump-off numbers, right? But as a group, minus Tre'von McMillan, these wideouts are putting up a sad 7.19 yards per catch. It's stale, like I said, man. It's been stale This offense has been stale. It's been predictable. It's easy to defend. And now you've got David Moore with an elbow. You got Xavier Legette coming back from a hamstring injury. So you're not sure what you're going to get out of him, because before he went down with the injury, he wasn't producing as much. He really was hurting our offense more than helping. And of course, you got Jalen Coker still dealing with his injury, which you're not sure. We haven't heard any updated news on him. So we need someone or anybody to really bring some juice to this offense. And that's where I think this guy comes into play, man. Like, this is where Jimmy Horn Jr. comes into play. All right. You brought him in as a 6th round pick. Hasn't seen the field yet. He's been a health scratch through the first month. Now that's about to change, because Dave Canales has confirmed this week that Horn is finally in line for some good game day action. And here's the thing. This offense is desperate for someone who could run past defenders. That's where the speed comes into play for Jimmy Horn Jr., right? I mean, Horn's speed might be their only shot. Again, I think they're going to use him. Right? In a sort of way like Devin Tompkins at Tampa Bay, right? Because what Horn brings is something Carolina doesn't have outside of Tyrone McMillan, which is some legitimate vertical juice. He is a guy with the explosiveness and the speed, right? You want more explosive plays. It's time to take the training wheels off this kid and see what he's got, right? But again, you're going to line him up in the slot as well. You're going to see some hitch. You may see some fades. You're going to see some quick slants. That's what you're going to see, which I think fits Bryce Young very well, because those type of plays, when you see that for a type of receiver, that brings along easy blocking, easy completions, right? You keep the players on the move. You keep moving towards the end zone. That's what you want. So, maybe this reinforcement, maybe this is a reinforcement on the horizon, right? Like, the Panthers might also get some other bodies back soon, which they might actually get Jalen Coker back. We haven't heard an update, but maybe he is on the horizon of coming back. He's been parked on injury reserve since week 1, so his eligibility to return as early as this week, which we still haven't heard about that yet. I doubt it. I don't see him returning back till next week. But again, he'll have to have practice time to ramp up, and hopefully he's back sooner than later. But again, you got Legette coming back, who's been sidelined the past 2 weeks. He's making progress. Again, the last time we saw Legette on the field, though, I felt like he was hurting us more than really helping us. You know what I mean? Like, we saw it. So again, for now, okay, I think the thing is, for now, Horn looks like the one guy who could actually shift the dynamics of this passing game attack. And of course, Canales came out and said today that, he looked sharp in practice and stressed that both players, which he was talking about Legette too, but he was saying that both players between Coker and Legette, he did say they're day-to-day, but again, that doesn't tell us not much. I mean, you got Legette out there that was a full participant, but then Jalen Coker, you don't know what's going on, really. But they need to prove they can handle a real workload, him, Legette, and Coker, right? But Horn, again, I think he's just one of these guys who could actually shift the dynamics of this passing attack with his explosiveness, his speed, and what he can bring to the table from a gadget aspect of things. So, Canales isn't. I think Canales isn't blind to the problem. I think he knows the problem, even though as much as I've given him shit lately, right? He admitted on Monday that the Panthers were actively evaluating how to create more explosive plays. That's a coach, I feel like, speaking from my standpoint, for him to say that, He's basically saying, well, we know we're boring and it's killing us. I mean, that's what he's saying, right? This offense fizzled against New England. Like I said, you had sacks, you had miscues killing drives before they even had a chance to start. Canales kept talking about building an identity of effort and physicality. The harsh reality is, ladies and gentlemen, that I feel like this team doesn't execute consistently enough to keep up in today's NFL. That's the biggest issue. Again, this is a result-driven league. So, again, the numbers don't lie. 2 strong weeks of practice, completely opposite results on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a coaching problem as much as it is as a personnel one. So, the bottom line is I don't think that we have the worst roster in football, okay? They play like it when McMillan doesn't touch the ball. Canales, again, is running out of excuses. This offense is running out of time to find answers. I don't think Jimmy Horn Jr. is going to be the savior, but I do think his speed, his energy, his playmaking ability, potential does give this team a new card to play out there. And I think at this point, what do you have to lose, right? You need some spark. And maybe this is a guy that might just be the match to spark it, right? So, again, I'm glad to see Jimmy Horn Jr. finally getting the burn that he needs, getting the respect that he does to come out here and play. So, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Just hit the thumbs up button. All right, just hit the thumbs up button. That's all I ask. Let me get to some comments here real quick. I missed some comments here. What's up, Roadmaster? It all depends on how Horn will be used if he makes an impact. Again, like I said, go watch clip on Devin Tompkins in Tampa Bay. I think that's how they're going to use him, but I think they're going to try to use him in the quick game, which is, easy routes, easy completions, easier to plays to block. So you're going to see probably some hitch routes, some fades with him, probably some slants, of course. You're going to see him line up in the slot for the most part, I feel like. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to push I would like to see them push the ball down the field if you want to really try to have some explosive plays with him. But we'll see. We will see. How many chunk throws did Bryce get us? We have to think about Yak when we talk about IPC. Heard 4 weeks on Coker. Any new on Coker? No, nothing yet. They're just saying day to day at this point. Maybe. NFL analysts said 4 to 8 of targets were uncatchable. Young was killing it with deep passes down the stretch last season. What has changed? I would say the play calling on that. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. This ain't Alabama versus Georgia Southern. I feel you. I Roadmaster, I've been saying that for the longest time. XL would excel. No pun intended. XL would excel in the slot. He would. 4.39 speed. Why not put him in the slot? Why not put him in the slot? He could be a surprise. That is for sure, Bonnie. Because nobody has film on him. Nobody has the film on him. That's for sure. Again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. We got 41 people on YouTube. We got 40 people on YouTube. How many likes do we got? How many likes we got? We only got 20 likes. We got 20 slackers in here, man. 20 slackers. We got 22 slackers. There's 42 people watching and only 20 likes. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hit that thumbs up button. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. It's free. See? I don't know if my computer. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right, let's continue. All right, 5. I'm going to give you 5 things. Jot these down. I'm going to give you 5 things I think that can fix this Panthers. I'm going to give you 5 ways to fix these Panthers right now. Okay? All right. Okay. So here's the thing. Canales tried to reset on Monday, according to some reports, tweaking the practice schedule, giving players a lighter day so the staff could dig into some film. Translation, they were scrambling for answers after getting humiliated in that Foxborough. Okay? The big picture isn't pretty though, because Bryce Young, I'm going to say this, I feel like has gotten exposed a little bit this year. But the crazy part is, even though he got exposed, he actually looks slightly better. Slightly. He's not going to carry this team anywhere yet. The offensive line is rotating injury ward. The wide receiver room is kind of all over the place, I feel like. The edge rushers are inconsistent. I know the injuries explain some of this. Excuses, but again, excuses don't matter, man. Every team deals with this, and good teams have depth, and good teams are able to adapt. Bad team uses injuries as a shield, right? And good coaches are able to elevate their players through chaos. Good quarterbacks are able to elevate players around them through chaos. And this team is on the clock. Canales insists that there won't be any drastic changes yet. He's keeping the play calling duties. He's not going to fire anyone yet. But if he wants to stop this season from circling the drain, as I keep saying before Halloween, you got to make some moves. You got to do something. You got to change it up. So one of the first things that I think that this team needs to do, and you can jot this down if you want, but follow along. You got to get aggressive with the play calling, man. Offense and defense. We look soft right now. There's no physicality, man. We are soft as baby shit right now, and we're mentally soft. These schemes that we're throwing out there are very passive. They're very predictable, and you're begging to keep getting picked apart the way that you're scheming it up. And Jiro Evro's defense right now, ladies and gentlemen, I looked it up today. We are blitzing just at 23.4% of the time. Good for that's good. That ranks us 20th in the NFL. That's a Fangio tree number. Fangio's whole philosophy is bend but don't break. The problem is that this defense and this team are breaking. We have, you know how many sacks we have all season so far, ladies and gentlemen? We've had 2 sacks on the year. That's dead last in the league. One of those was from Turk Wharton on a scrambling. I think it was Turk Wharton, right? Turk Wharton on a scrambling Drake May for 0 yards. That's not a pass rush, man. That's just a participation trophy. I get that Pat Jones and DJ Wonnum were out. Yes, you had rookies in and Nick Swarton and Princely Amamielin who are still learning. It doesn't matter. When you can't generate pressure with your front, you blitz. You blitz. When you can't generate pressure with your front, you blitz. You take risk. And if your secondary gets beat, so be it. Sitting back and waiting for the quarterbacks to carve you up clearly isn't working. And Canales, same deal, man. His safe play calling, his scared play calling is putting this team in holes they can't climb out of. So, for example, because the way he is calling plays just screams to me, I don't trust my quarterback. But I also have to say this. the way that he is scheming up in this offense, the way that the play calling has been, I don't feel like he set up the Bryce Young for success. So that's where I kind of give Bryce some leeway a little bit. I mean, again, you still got to execute. Again, like I said, this is a result-driven league. But here's an example of coaching scared. You're up 6-0, right? You're driving. You face a 3rd and down in plus territory, right? I think it was 3rd and 10. We were in plus territory. Now you dial up a Rico Daddle draw play. You get 2 yards. You punt. Marcus Jones returns it for an 87-yard touchdown. Because it's crazy, because you started out the whole game on that first drive, right? You started out the game, the whole first drive. Sexy drive. Best drive I think I've seen all season to start out the season. Go down there. You show rhythm. You show confidence. Score a touchdown. And then the wheels come off. And the crazy part is on top of that first drive, your defense forces the Patriots to go three and out. And once Marcus Jones had that 87-yard touchdown, the momentum died, man. The game was basically over. Because then later you have a 3rd and 15. You run another draw to Rico Daddle, 2 yards, punt, and then another massive Marcus Jones return. It's the same mistake. It's the same result. Again, what is the definition of insanity, ladies and gentlemen? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's not smart football. That is coaching scared. That is what that is. If you're 1-3 and you're getting blown out, the last thing you should be doing is calling draw plays on 3rd and long. What you should be doing is trying to do 2-minute drill like you did against the Jacksonville Jaguars, like you did against the Arizona Cardinals. Where was that? At least you were aggressive. Call something aggressive. Take a shot. Show that you have a pair of nuts or some guts. Show something. Show something. I don't care if you don't trust your quarterback. I understand Canales doesn't trust his quarterback. I understand he doesn't trust Bryce. But if you don't trust Bryce Young either, Dave Canales, then just start holding dudes accountable. Start calling out Bryce. Start calling out these players, man. Hold dudes accountable. Stop contradicting yourself when you go to the podium and keep saying that you believe in this guy. Start going to the podium and say, well, yeah, my play calling's got to get better, but my quarterback has to start executing better. Again, it's a result-driven league. Again, call something aggressive. Take a shot. Show some guts. That is number one for me. You got to start show some aggression. Remember when John Cena, I don't know how many of you guys are WWE fans. I'm a huge WWE fan. I've been watching it since I was 10 years old. Since I could understand it, really, younger than that. But I'll never forget when John Cena first came out there. And Kurt Angle came out there. It was for, I think it was when Kurt Angle was doing the open challenge. I think it was for his gold medal or the U.S. title. I can't remember what it was for. And Kurt Angle goes, what do you bring to the table when John Cena came out there? John Cena came out there and said, ruthless aggression. Can I get some ruthless aggression, Dave Canales? Can I get some of that? Please, for the love of God, show some aggressiveness. Show some creativity. Take some shots. You have nothing to lose at this point. You're 1-3, or you're getting blown out in the game. Show some guts. Grab your nutsack from your wife's purse or wherever it got locked up and use it like a man. For the love of God. That is the biggest number one thing for me. Is I want this team to show me something. Guys, 50 people watching, only 25 likes. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Appreciate you guys. The next thing, can we please stop splitting carries? Stop splitting carries. Feed Chuba Hubbard. Because here's the thing, and this might be a hot take. I don't give a shit. Stop giving him the same workload. Stop giving Rico Dowdle the same workload as Chuba Hubbard. It makes no sense. Hubbard is a workhorse, man. He's a downhill, violent runner who gets better the more touches he gets. That's why you went out and re-signed him. That's why teammates respect him. But Canales insists on rotating him evenly with Dowdle. A decent change of pace back who's averaging a mediocre 3-point yards per carry and 4-point yards per catch. Hubbard, he's at 4.1 yards per rush and 7.2 yards per reception. That's flat out better. Yet this coaching staff keeps treating him like a situational piece. Yes, I get it. It's hard to pound the rock when you're trailing by multiple scores. I get that. But even in early game situations, Canales has been quick to pull Hubbard. Again, I think this is coaching malpractice once again by Dave Canales. Dowdle can still play a role. Short bursts, third downs, occasional changeup, but Hubbard should be the bell cow. He earned it. Feed this man 20-plus carries, and you will live with the results. So stop splitting carries. Stop it. Stop splitting carries. For the love of God. And then another thing. Can we play Brady Christensen permanently? I mean, this one's simple. Brady Christensen is one of Carolina's best offensive linemen. Yet, for some reason, he's treated like he's a spare part. Like when Chandler Zavala went down on Sunday, this coaching staff went with Brandon Walton, a practice squad call-up, over Christensen. It went as well as you expected. Basically, it went as well as you pissing in the punch bowl, man. That's how good it went. Christensen didn't get in until the second half, then immediately graded out as the Panthers' best offensive player by Pro Football Focus. He had an 83.5 overall, and he had an 84.9 pass blocking grade. Meanwhile, you have Chandler Zavala, who put up a 0.0 in pass protection, and I mean, my God, a 0. But Canales continues to try to justify it by saying Christensen was the backup center in case Cape Mays went down. Fine. But once Zavala exited, that excuse is garbage. Christensen belongs to be on the field, point blank, period. Whether it's guard, whether it's tackle, whether it's center, the staff needs to get over whatever weird hang up they have about him and just let this guy play. He's versatile. He's steady. Right now, this line can't afford to waste talent. And also, we're talking about the same Brady Christensen that a lot of people want him to start at left tackle over Ike Ekwonu. You have a whole fan base that was calling for that. Another thing. Can we finally inject some speed into this offense and special teams, please? again, this is a team that continues to look slow against New England. I mean, painfully so on offense, special teams everywhere. I get there that there's injuries to partly to blame when David Moore, Delvon Campbell went down. It's not only gutted the receiving room, but it also wrecked the punt coverage unit. But the truth is Carolina hasn't had enough speed on the field all year. But that does change now which we just talked about. Jimmy Horn Jr. has come to play. The staff thought he needed seasoning, and guess what? There's no time left to marinate, so you got to put Jimmy Horn Jr. out there, right? I mean, you're talking about a guy who's explosive. He ran a 4.4 at his pro day, can actually threaten defenses vertically. Something this offense has been missing outside of Tedoroy McMillan, which is what we talked about earlier. But, finally Canales came out and admitted that Horn will be active this week, like we were talking about earlier. I'm glad that they're going to throw him into the fire, like I said. But you also bring back Xavier Legette. He's healthy. Maybe we get Jalen Coker back into this mix. We'll see if he's ready to go. Again, they're day-to-day, according to Dave Canales. Anything to get Bryce Young some receivers who can separate, that's all that matters to me at this point. Excited is nice. Productive is better. Let's see if I just want to see if Jimmy Horn Jr. really is going to bring that juice. And last but not least, commit to the rookies on defense. Please, can we just commit to these rookies on defense? I'm done playing this back and forth shit about it. McMillan, we already know he's the best player on offense. He probably is the best player on this roster now at this point. And he's a rookie. That says something, right? I mean, the Panthers should stop pretending that their other draft picks can't help. Like Nick Scorton, Princely Mamiella need reps at edge rusher, point blank period. Even when Jones, if he returns back this week, DJ Wanham returns back this week, I think you rotate those guys. Because I think Princely Mamiella and Nick Scorton, they're younger. They're going to make mistakes, but they'll also bring energy and hopefully a pass rush that doesn't resemble warm butter. And same goes for Lathan Ransom, man. Like the Ohio State product laid the wood in camp, but played just 15 snaps Sunday compared to Nick Scott, who has 47 snaps in that game. Scott missed, and Nick Scott misses tackles right and left and continues to do so. He keeps continuing to blow coverages. Why do we continue to commit to this guy that's nobody? He's a nobody. He's a scrub. He's a bum. And you're only giving Lathan Ransom, who is a guy who has been laying the wood when he goes out there and brings the same energy that we're talking about with Nick Scorton and Princely Mamiella, and he's only getting 15 snaps to Nick Scott's 47. At minimum, you should be splitting those reps with those guys. Well, Miss Douglas, I can tell you right now, Nick Scorton, after he found out that DJ Johnson got cooked, trust me, that guy is looking he's looking over his shoulder right now. He should be. Clay, what do we have to lose now? Play our young guys now. Exactly, Roadmaster. Exactly. See what you got. You're 1-3. Let the raw talent and the potential, the upside of those guys. Let's see if it flares up and explodes, right? Talk about another guy, Cam Jackson. He played 9 snaps against New England, the most of his rookie season. He's trending upward. Keep it going. Because if the vets aren't getting it done, which they're not, then let the rookies sink or swim. At least you'll find out what you have. Again, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the Panthers are 1-3. We are playing uninspiring, passive, we're injury-riddled 1-3 football team. That is the worst kind of record, bad and boring. Canales doesn't need to blow everything up. He needs to coach with urgency, right? Ajiro Evero needs to blitz more. Canales needs to take chances on this offense. You need to feed Hubbard. Finally, Brady Christensen is actually going to be playing full time. And let the rookies run on both sides of the ball. Let the rookies run, man. Like, the season isn't dead yet. But again, we are just that penny circling the drain, right? And unless Canales makes these changes now, we're going to be, again, we won't be bad, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to be an irrelevant team. Cole Harley, going to be an irrelevant team. So, again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream, whether you're watching on Twitch, X, YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Again, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I will be breaking down that Miami game on Friday, so make sure you guys tune into that. Make sure you guys come through. Love to see you guys here again on Friday evening, 8 p.m. Probably, well, it might be earlier. It might be earlier. So make sure you guys come through on Friday night, Friday. I don't know yet. I'll announce it here soon, but it's going to be Friday for sure. Might be earlier. It might be later. Clay Princely only played 12 snaps because DJ took them all the snaps. Well, DJ needs to switch. We need to bench Roseboom. We definitely need the problem is you can't bench him. I mean, unless you want to put Bam Martin Scott out there and see what you got out of him, I guess you can, but I don't know if I'm willing to take that risk. But I will say this. You've got teams out here taking free, bringing in visits from some free agents out there. I think you need to maybe take a page out of their book and do the same thing, because smart organizations do that. You know what I mean? Smart organizations do that. They take visits. And you might want to look into taking some visits. I can tell you that. So maybe they make a trade. I don't know. They got enough. They've got the capital to do it. I mean, this team's got the capital. I'd take a seasoned middle linebacker right now. Me too. Maybe they make a trade. I doubt it. We're not competent enough as an organization to do that, but, wishful thinking, I guess. So, again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Again, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys. And as always, love you guys. Have fun. Be safe. God bless. And as always, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.